Testing, 1, 2, 3. We're going to talk about the disassociation journey that has been my acne and Accutane journey in the past 2 years now. Back in the day, I wouldn't even say back in the day, just like 2 years ago, my skin was somewhat flawless in my eyes. I mean, I would get a pimple here and there, but never any crazy breakouts growing up or even through high school and middle school and puberty. But then college came around and everything was great, especially my freshman year in college. My skin was probably the most perfect it had ever been. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a narcissist, but I was really happy with my skin at the time. I think I was eating good, with the cafeteria food and all of that. And I was even on creatine and stuff like that, things that you'd think would break you out, but really my skin was pretty good. And then I went off to sophomore year of college, and skin was still pretty good. I had a couple pimples here and there. I'm not saying that this is what caused my awful breakout, but maybe it contributed, my malnourishment. In sophomore year, I didn't have a food cafeteria anymore. I started to cook on my own, and any 20-year-old, 19-year-old boy isn't gonna exactly cook the most nourishing foods for himself. Baby, I took a half and she took the whole thing. We eating good. It was mainly just chicken and rice, no vegetables. Like every day, just trying to be as lean and as aesthetic as possible, not really caring about my real health. I would maybe contribute a little bit of that to my breakout. But I always think back on this one day specifically that I really noticed myself start to break out. That was maybe 2 days after Halloween. I had done a face paint costume. It was just caked on my face. I don't think I even washed it off that night. I think I slept in it. And that's when my face began to break out. I started to freak out. I bought a bunch of products that I had never used before and started putting them on my face, like witch hazel. Don't buy witch hazel. I thought I had to nuke my skin. I thought that was the only way to kill everything on my face, and that's actually almost the opposite of what you want to do. You have to love your skin and be caring. You can't just be, scrubbing on all of this chemical exfoliant and acid on your face and then not moisturize because you think moisturizing breaks you out. I was trying to get into the dermatologist at the time, but COVID had started and there really wasn't many openings for the dermatologist to take me, so it took actually 6 months for me to get into the dermatologist. Like a lot of people at the time, a lot of people were going through this, as they said when I finally got into the dermatologist. They said they're just having a massive outbreak of acne. So I finally got into the dermatologist. I showed him my face, and the guy asked oh, how long have you been breaking out for? I was like, it's probably been about 6 months. And he said, oh, why didn't you come in sooner? I was like, fuming, dude. I was so angry with this dude. I was like, yeah, man, I'm just I couldn't get in to the dermatologist, and I was wondering if I could just get on Accutane. And instead of getting on Accutane, which I knew at the time I should have, this guy says, we're gonna put you on a topical retinoid. So I did this topical retinoid for a month, I think 2 months. And your face gets worse when you do a retinoid. You have like a purging sequence, and then it starts to get better. But with me, the retinoid didn't work. So then I went back in after like 2 months. I saw another dermatologist, and she saved me, like seriously. This dermatologist said that I should have been on Accutane, from the start. My face was fucked, like it was really fucked, and that I was probably gonna get scarring because of how late I got on Accutane. So if your face is getting screwed up with acne and you're breaking out terribly, try to get on Accutane as soon as you can, and do not don't try to pop it. Like, as good as you think you are at popping, your pimples. Don't do it, because you can cause scarring that will never go away. And what is great about the human body and your skin, it has an entire cycle where the acne forms. It'll heal itself. It's like a scab. You don't pick a scab, right? Because then you create a scar underneath the scab, or you reopen it. Like, why would you want to do that? Don't do it. Your skin will heal itself over time. Allow it to heal. My best word of advice if you go on Accutane, moisturize. You think moisturizing is gonna break you out? Don't worry, it's not. Look up what Vaseline, slugging with Vaseline is a miracle. And guess what? I didn't do it because I thought I was gonna break out like terribly. I've only started slugging after Accutane. Like, I finally got the confidence. I was like, screw it. Like, I like my moisturizer now. Moisturizers are your friend. I'm gonna try slugging. And I live in a very dry climate. I live in Colorado. So, I mean, it might be different for you if you're down at sea level or something. That might be maybe too much, I don't know. But if you're in a dry climate especially, moisturize the shit out of yourself if you're especially on Accutane or topical retinoid. Don't think that, like, you need to not moisturize and tough it out because you want everything to dry out more. Like, that's not really how it works. On Accutane, you know, you hear these rumors that it makes you depressed. Think about this. Your skin is messed up. It's not maybe the pill, it's not something chemically that's happening, but I think it's your self-esteem and confidence that drops. Like, halfway through, even for me in this dry climate, my lips started cracking and I could no longer smile or eat without being in pretty extreme pain. It was like the Joker. I felt like the Joker, like cracks in the seams of my lips. So yeah, that makes you sad when you can't smile or enjoy eating or moving your mouth in general, which I love talking. It is awful, but there is a rainbow at the end of that storm, and Accutane works really well. My dermatologist she has put thousands of people on Accutane and she's never seen it not work. You know, but maybe your skin is just mildly breaking out. My advice is just don't freak out and start torching your skin. I think that's what brought me to more of a severe acne, was doing all these products thinking that it was going to save me, which in reality, less is more, you know? I think the two most important parts of a skincare routine is a good cleanser and just a good moisturizer. If you have that, I mean, the rest is somewhat extra. So let's get into what I do for skincare now as like a recovering Accutane victim. I mean, this is kind of expensive stuff, but my grandma always used to say, you're worth it. And it's expensive, but you're worth it. Your health and mental state is worth it. If it makes you happy to have clear skin, then it's worth the investment. This is what works for me. I will say there's a website that is honestly a game changer for choosing out your skincare routine, and that is, I believe it's Inky Decoder. It shows you all the ingredients and a scale of 1 to 5 on how much of an irritant each ingredient is and how comedogenic an irritant is. You probably already know what comedogenic is, but for those of you that don't, it's how clogging it is to your pores. I chose my cleanser based off of that, and I love the Kale Green Tea Spinach Vitamins Superfood Cleanser by Youth to the People. None of this is sponsored. I'm just showing you guys what I use daily, and maybe I can help you decide on what you may want to use for your skincare routine. So this step is 100% optional in my opinion. Less is more. But I did start to use a chemical exfoliant, and I used it very sparingly on myself. When I first got this, you know, this is kind of gross. I've actually had this for 2 years now. So I've been using this very sparingly. Probably a bit too sparingly, but less is more. Less is more. Don't overuse chemical exfoliants, especially starting out. Your skin has to get used to it, And if you're using it too much, you're gonna damage your skin. Your skin will no longer be able to hold moisture, and it'll dry up like a desert. You know, and if you're on Accutane, don't use a chemical exfoliant. Wait until after. But yeah, this is the Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. Yeah, and thirdly, I like to use this moisturizer. It's actually, I'm not sure if it's technically a moisturizer, but it's called the Maximum Hydrator 72-hour auto replenishing hydrator, Clinique for Men. It feels so good to put this on my face, like, I'm not even gonna cap. Now, this is more for the men. If you're a girl, this isn't gonna really apply to you. When I was trying to figure out my skincare routine and everything, I felt like shaving was maybe part of why I broke out, and I was using weird shave creams, which I was using weird shave creams. What's great about that website, the Inky Decoder, it shows a lot of shaving creams as well. A shaving cream that I swear by so far that I used after Accutane that didn't break me out was Coochie. It's a real shaving cream. It's called Coochie. As you can guess, it's a woman's shaving cream, and it's not really made for faces, but I looked it up on the Inky Decoder, and it was one of the least irritating shaving creams that I could find. So take that as you will, but I loved that shaving cream when I used it. I'm ordering some more right now, actually. I just ran out of it. It was good stuff. It's good stuff, and it leaves your skin soft. Also for shaving, I love to use a shave brush. It's kind of like, in a sense, an exfoliant, which is kind of nice. And it also lifts your hair and makes it an easier shave. I mean, everybody's different when it comes to shaving, but I personally like to use a safety razor. These are just tiny atomic habits that can make a difference over time. In the shower, when you're washing your hair and stuff, tilt your head back and wash it off the back of your head instead of washing down your face. And also start from head to toe when you're washing yourself, so that you're not, spreading germs from down under on your face. Like, don't touch your face after you wash your groin. Another thing is changing like pillowcases and towels weekly is a good goal to go for, but I mean, every 2 weeks at least. Make sure you're changing that stuff out. You lay your face on your pillow every night, and especially if you don't shower before bed, like, a lot of germs get on that pillow. And I mean, you drool, human saliva is disgusting. Like I said before, just don't touch your face. Like, don't pick at anything. I literally haven't touched my face in like a year now, and it has proven wonders. Like, just let your body heal itself. It knows how to heal itself. It will. Damn. Yeah, I hope this helps someone. Thanks for tuning in and listening, and hopefully I have shared some helpful advice. I know it can be really hard, but there is a rainbow at the end of the storm, and you just have to hunker down a little bit and just let the storm pass, and it will pass. And I hope the best for you. I might be having a Minecraft episode coming out shortly here. Be on the lookout for that if you enjoy watching me be an idiot. With no further ado, have a great day. These are sick too. They're not really necessary in any sense, but they're nice. When you're washing your face, you can get one of these like hairband things if you have hair, and boom, hair's out of your face. You can wash your forehead. I never had forehead problems. I don't really know why I got this, but it's fun. It makes your nightly routine kind of more fun. You can be a bear. But yeah. All right, it's my last day taking Accutane.